While the United States Air Force, or USAF, has several defense-related strategic objectives, one of the organization's less combat-centered roles is providing secure transportation for the highest echelons of the US government. From colonels to cabinet officials to the President of the United States himself, the Air Force operates various VIP-configured transports. Let's use today's video to look at the various types of aircraft that take on this special role. In total, the Air Force operates over 50 airframes that are mainly configured as VIP transports. At the same time, certain other types, such as the E-4 Night Watch, transport high-ranking defense officials and can also be configured for VIP transport. In this video, we'll explore 5 notable aircraft operated by the US Air Force that are dedicated to transporting high-level government and military officials. The first of these, with a published range of 6,800 nautical miles, is the 4-engined quadjet known as Air Force One. This stated range is a little deceiving, as the jet has the capability to be refueled in air. Its USAF designation is actually VC-25A, while its primary passenger is the President of the United States and his accompanying team. The civilian aircraft of origin is the Boeing 747-200. These aircraft serve as the primary mode of transportation for the US President and project an image of strength and national identity all across the world. The Queen of the Skies has served the US head of state well throughout the decades. Fascinatingly, and as many viewers may know, Air Force One is not the aircraft's name, but rather the call sign given to any plane carrying the US President that the USAF operates. In the event that the President was to travel on board any other VIP aircraft on this list, that jet would also take the call sign of Air Force One. In popular culture, however, the term or phrase Air Force One is mainly associated with the current pair of VC-25A aircraft. As it happens, the current VC-25s have been in service since 1987 and are beginning to show signs of their age. The Air Force has ordered a pair of modified Boeing 747-8Is, which will serve as replacements for the current modified 747-200s and have been designated as the VC-25B. This has led many to theorize that the last 747s configured to transport passengers could be the Air Force's presidential transports, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next up, with a range of 5,500 nautical miles, is the aircraft type known as Air Force Two. The aircraft's official USAF designation, however, is C-32. Its primary passenger is the United States Vice President, while its civilian aircraft of origin is the Boeing 757-200. The C-32 is the name given to a fleet of 6 different aircraft operated by the Air Force for VIP transport, which have been derived from the civilian Boeing 757. Much like Air Force One, Air Force Two is only this aircraft's nickname and is a call sign used to designate any aircraft carrying the Vice President. Not only is the Vice President transported on board this jet, but also the First Lady and many other cabinet officials. Under certain circumstances, the President may choose to fly the modified 757 as it requires significantly less runway than the VC-25As and can access many smaller airports. The C-32A is the designation given to aircraft in this family that strictly serve the purpose of executive transportation. However, there are C-32s which perform a slightly different role. The C-32B Gatekeeper operates as an airlift jet for special forces or during natural disasters and other emergency response efforts. Third on our list is the aircraft known as the Clipper. Its official US Air Force designation is the C-40C. Primary passengers of this aircraft type are cabinet members, senators and congressmen, while its civilian aircraft of origin is the Boeing 737 Next Generation. With a maximum range of 4,500 to 5,000 nautical miles based on payload, the C-40 is used to serve a variety of transport-related purposes, because the C-40C is exclusively reserved for government activities. Typically, lower-level cabinet officials and members of Congress will fly on board this aircraft, and the United States Air Force maintains a small fleet of 12 operational examples of the C-40. According to the Air Force, the C-40C is almost identical to a 737-700, with the unique exceptions that the military transport has winglets. To be more specific in comparing it with the commercial passenger version, the C-40 combines the 737-700 fuselage with the wings and landing gear from the larger and heavier 737-800. The basic aircraft has auxiliary fuel tanks, a specialized interior with self-sustainment features, and managed passenger communications. The C-40C is not equipped with the advanced communications capability of the C-40B. Unique to the C-40C, however, is the capability to change its configuration to accommodate from 42 to 111 passengers. Next up is a jet for military brass. Its official US Air Force designation is C-37A or C-37B, depending on the variant. When it comes to range, the C-37A can fly up to 5,500 nautical miles at normal cruise, while the C-37B can fly slightly further to 5,560 nautical miles at normal cruise. Primary passengers are high-ranking officials belonging to the United States Department of Defense. Aside from its rather obvious Air Force-themed livery, there is little to set the C-37A or B apart from other Gulfstream 5 and 550 business aircraft. C-37As based on the Gulfstream 5 are operated out of Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland, Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii, and Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. On the other hand, the C-37B, based on the Gulfstream 550, is only operated out of Andrews Air Force Base, where 5 examples of the type can be found. Across the board, this sleek jet is used primarily to transport the US military's highest-ranking officials, according to the Air Force's website. And finally, with a range of about 2,000 nautical miles, we have a transporter that doubles as an air ambulance. The aircraft's US Air Force designation is C-21A, while its civilian aircraft of origin is the Learjet 35A. Primary passengers for the C-21A include flag officers and other high-ranking Defense Department personnel. At the same time, however, many C-21As have been configured to serve an emergency response role and provide airlift services at a moment's notice, according to military.com. This aircraft is among the smallest of all VIP-configured jets in operation with the Air Force. The US Air Force flies 19 examples of the type. The C-21 has spent decades flying personnel and supplies and was deployed to support operations such as Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom, and Enduring Freedom. So what do you think about the US Air Force's collection of executive/VIP transport aircraft? Have you seen any of these in person? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment down below. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.